Hey everyone, Chris Centennial, Sports Talk 101. Today I'm at the Country Club of Big Ron Shaw, and the question we're asking today is, should Monty apologize to Ron? So what's your thought? Should Monty from the Monty and Pharaoh Show apologize to Big Ron Shaw?
Absolutely. I don't believe that Monty should have said what he said, and I definitely believe he should apologize to Ron Shaw for what he had said.
Sir, what do you think? Should Monty apologize to Ron Shaw?
Monty apologized to Shaw? Hell yeah! And he's the champion. Hall of Famer, of course.
Sir, do you have an opinion? Should he apologize?
Most definitely. When you have a Hall of Famer and you want to insult him, that's a bunch of bull crap. He should be apologizing to him.
Thank you. Sir, do you have an opinion on Ron Shaw? Should Monty apologize to him?
Hell, I don't even like Ron Shaw.
Hey, who the hell are you?
You talking to me like
your own business, man. You're all drunk, you?
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here. Monty, the people have spoken. Step up to the plate and deliver me the apology that I so rightfully deserve. I told you you're a punk, and I'm going to tell you our paths are going to cross again. Monty, in 6 short days, I'll be on the Dan and Benny in the Ring show to announce some huge news that's going to shock a lot of people, maybe including you. So what you need to do is get to your doctor and get the wax cleaned out of your ears, and then get the wax cleaned out between your ears, because you're going to want to hear and understand exactly what I got to say. And Pharaoh, I suggest you talk some sense into your pal to make sure I get the apology that I deserve.
I'm Rosa Mendez, and I'm here at the #1 Long Island broadcast, Monty and Pharaoh. I had the best time ever!
Hey, listen, Daddy, you're listening to the #1 broadcast, Monty and Pharaoh, Daddy, in Long Island. The best pro wrestling broadcast of all time, I think.
Jimmy, I got to tell you, man, it feels good to be back on YouTube. It was quite disappointing what happened to us, but we bounced back fairly quickly.
Well, what else would we do? We're almost at 5,000 subscribers.
Well, speaking of that, man, we need more members.
Okay.
What do you think we need to do to get the people of those 5,000 subscribers to come on and join the team as a Monty and the Pharaoh member?
Nudity is out of the question. Any other ideas?
I don't know, man. I don't know. But what I do have a few ideas.
Well, just like Prel, they should tell 2 friends, and they could tell 2 friends, and so on and so on. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Check out all our content.
But that's, you know what? That's why you're the star of the show, because guess what? Members get special content. Even we spoke about it. Pharaoh came to me one day and he goes, man, what's the deal? I can't even watch some of these videos because I'm not a member. And I said, there you go, Pharaoh. You got to be a member, because this is what the members get. They get free content that none of the other fans that watch this show get.
That's right.
You get free autographs from some of these wonderful stars that come in, right?
Nice.
All you do is you go to the MNP webpage, or our own page, and shoot us an email and say, hey, man, I want a picture of Tommy Rich. I want a picture of whatever. And boy, that's on its way.
We give them their choice.
That's right.
We rock.
We do rock.
And you need to rock too. Join.
Do you treat your dog as part of the family? Well, so do we. So why not celebrate your pup's birthday with the ultimate party box? Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Party Pup Info, and let us make your pup's party or any celebration perfection.
Jimmy, I gotta take a dump.
What?
No, I mean I need a dumpster.
Well, for all those needs, you need to call Big V Dumpster Rental, Long Island, New York, 631-900-DUMP.
Friends, seems like forever, and we've had our share of laughter through the pain. But look at us now, on a Sunday time. Too short to live in these extremes. Have we seen our finest hour? Good times surely will come. And all through the night I wondered and waited, for it's been said, united we stand, divided we fall. To wait here for you, holding it together, just like a desert flower, waiting on the rain to come. And all I know is anger, lies, confusion. And what I'm saying is you don't realize what this means. Have we seen our finest hour? Good times surely will come.
Fucker.
All right, guys. Another episode of SOB Sports, episode 7. With your host, the mighty Mantorin. Yo, baby, yo, PN News. Without further ado, here are the boys.
Ooh. Yo, baby, yo. What's up, big guy? What's up, brother from another mother? How you doing today, man? I see you're sporting a Nebraska Cornhuskers wear, huh?
That's right, man. I'm getting ready. Got our spring game coming up on Saturday, and he got the troop ready to go. I believe Matt Rule does. By the way, speaking of Matt Rule, he was seen in Omaha at SmackDown. Yes, just recently. Him and the offensive lineman, and they were sitting right in the front row of SmackDown.
Oh, very nice, man. Did anybody get involved?
No, there was no involvement other than he stole the show. The throwing the bones, he got the biggest pop of the night, apparently.
Nice, man.
But
well,
you know what? He is his hometown boy, right? So
yeah, I mean, you got to get yourself over in that spot, don't you? I mean, because you're over like Rover. You're the number one guy in the whole fucking state. So if you don't get yourself over on SmackDown, you're in trouble.
More people know the head coach than they do the governor of the state. What's his name?
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Barnstead or Barnhill? Fuck, I don't know. Barnes something.
Yeah, Bob Down. Bob Down, I believe it is.
Bob Down.
Oh, wow. You've done that before, haven't you?
Hey, man, you would never believe what it took to get this position I'm in right now, bro. Fuck, I had to fucking do a lot of dastardly fucking dirty deeds, brother, to get in this fucking spot.
Done dirt cheap, man, and I'll tell you what, it's on your hand. Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? That is such a foul. If you were still in CWA, that would be a case of beer, bro. That would
case of beer and a fucking bottle of whiskey, man. For sure, brother. Man. Listen, I got some news to share with everybody, man, and I'm really excited to drop this bomb because this has been like 3 years in the making. So the Mighty Mantar documentary is going to be finished and released in fall of 2023, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. You heard it here first on SOB Sports. Yours truly documentary, The Mighty Mantar, will be released the fall of 2023. So stay tuned because it's going to be a fucking great one, man. It's not no cut and spliced fucking documentary. It's not edited for PG. It is the real deal, ladies and gentlemen. We get down to the brass tacks. We don't pull no punches, and we pull lots of hair. And so hopefully everybody's going to love it. And I will be entertaining as usual. You people might think that it's easy being simply outstanding every day. But I'll tell you what, man, it's one fucking chore. Every morning when I wake up, it is difficult, man. It takes me a long time to leave that mirror.
You know what? I'm happy for you, man. Congratulations. I'm sure that's going to be a really great production when it comes out. I spoke with your guy, sent me a message today because we just never could get connected for the interview on that documentary. But I'm sure it's going to be great, and I look forward to seeing that in the fall. So Chubbs, what's been going on, man? What you got going on this last week? What have you been up to?
Brother, man, I have put on some miles on my vehicle. I will tell you that. So Mrs. Dunkin' Donuts, she decided that she wanted a puppy. So one puppy turned into two puppies. And so we drove all the way back to Omaha, Nebraska from Cape Coral, Florida on Monday. We left here about 8 o'clock at night. And we pulled into Omaha, Nebraska on Tuesday evening about 7 o'clock at night. Nice 24-hour drive, 1,600 miles straight through. And we spent the night. We stayed over Tuesday, Wednesday. We picked up the puppies on Thursday. We left Nebraska on Friday, got back here to Cape Coral on Saturday. And I tell you what, man, I am absolutely fucking finished, man. I feel like I've been in like 10 cage matches in a row, bro. I mean, sitting on your ass for 3,200 miles is a lot harder than it sounds. Let me tell you about that. I mean, that's no
sitting on your
fun.
face for 3,200 miles. Sitting on your face for 3,200 miles. That might hurt. Did anything funny happen or anything interesting happen on the trip, bro?
Listen, I'm going to tell you, man. So naturally, when we go on trips, I don't let Mrs. Dunkin' Donuts drive too much. So I don't let her drive too much. And so we're about 3.5 hours into the trip, about to make the first stop. Says gas in 1 mile. All of a sudden it says, and my odometer says 24 miles to empty. And so the next thing you know, I'm doing 95 miles an hour and then fucking nothing. Boom. The car just totally stops dead in its tracks in the fast lane on I-75 North. And man, I hurried up and got over. And my girlfriend said, stop. And I was like, I'm coasting. She says, yeah, but uphill, you dumb fucker. I said, I'm coasting nonetheless. That's a few inches less than I'm going to have to push this motherfucker, right? And so we get over there, and thank God Mrs. Dunkin' Donuts had AAA. And so she saved the day by calling AAA. And do I have to tell you that AAA, from the time that I called them to the time that they had a guy come out and bring us 2 gallons of gas, was less than 1 hour time span. I mean, I was really impressed with how quickly AAA responded. And Gary was a trooper. I'm going to show that clip probably next week. I had a little short interview with Gary, and he was phenomenal, man. And I have to tell you, that was running out of gas. That's its own story in itself. But, when you're sitting there on the highway and there's cars going by you 85, 90, 95 miles an hour, that's a real precarious position to be in. And I looked over at Mrs. Dunkin' Donuts and I said, baby, I really love you. It's like, you're the light of my light. And I says, and you might think I'm stupid right now. What do I want now? But I says, all I can think about is one of these cars texting on their phone and not paying attention where they're going. And they're going to hit us in the rear end and we're going to be fucking toast. And I said, so our lives right now, we're hanging in the balance, waiting on this fucking AAA guy before some other clown comes by and cleans our clocks, right? Because you see shit like that happening on the news every day. Somebody gets hit from behind on the interstate. and they just get fucking demolished. Well, luckily we weren't two of those casualties. So, God was looking after us. Gary from AAA came by, give us that 2 gallon of gas, didn't charge us anything, man. We were scrubbing around for some cash. We give him $15 tip and said, "Hey, Gary, God bless you, man. You're the fucking savior of the day." And we went on with our trip, right?
Why didn't you give him the C note that was in your other pocket, dude? That's just
dude, don't let Mrs. Dunkin' Donuts hear you say that, man. She will ream me a
Dude.
new one. I was looking at her like, "Babe, you got to get some money because I don't have none." She was like, "Oh, this is all I got. I can't believe you don't have no money."
I thought you were going to say when you said, when you were saying that before, and you were telling her you loved her and all that stuff, I thought you were going to ask her to pick you up a Dunkin' Donuts coffee and a couple of Bismarcks or something like that to go.
Brother, I get all the fucking donuts I want, man. And my favorites are the Bavarian cream, the jelly filled, and the double chocolate. And for you who don't know what double chocolate is, it is a chocolate donut with chocolate icing on top. It is phenomenal with a glass of white milk. It's great. You should try it someday.
I think it was our president Brandon who once said, "If you don't know double chocolate, you don't know dick."
That's right, brother.
I'm pretty
You're
sure.
exactly right about that. But yeah, man, we scored 2 dogs up in Omaha. And I tell you what, man, these puppies are great. Max and Oliver. So Maximilian and Oliver Twist are doing wonderful. They're 2 West Highland Terriers, Westies for short. And these dogs are very smart. They're 8 weeks old. They're about 85% potty trained. And, things are going good, man. They're no problem whatsoever. And, Mrs. Dunkin' Donuts was outside today training them on the leash, getting them used to the dog leash. And so, Mrs. Dunkin' Donuts is right in her element, man. She's back to being motherly. Thank God she's not motherly to me because I'm tired of it. So she's motherly the puppies. And, Max and fucking Ollie are just eating it up, man. And I'm good because they're taking the heat off of me. So that's all good.
Straight double D, our stacker, man. Way to go. So,
yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Man? Anything else?
I'll tell you what, we've been getting a lot of rain here in South Florida, man. I went to Miami today and nothing but rain all the way there, all the way back, And when I say rain, I mean, this shit's coming down in fucking buckets, man, and quickly, and a lot of rain. So they had 25 inches of rain in Fort Lauderdale in a 12-hour span. So when I was leaving today, I had to get some gas to make it home. I literally had to drive about 15 miles to find some gas. I stopped at like 7 gas stations. They were all closed because it flooded this weekend. That all that fucking rain flooded the whole fucking city, and they were all underwater. So the tankers couldn't get in. Nobody could get any gas. And so every fucking gas station you drive into, they got out of order, no gas, sorry for the inconvenience, come back another day. And so I had to drive around, man. I had to search. I had to put my my gasometer out today and had to put it in the westerly wind direction and direct me to the fucking gas station. And fucking Wawa was where it was at, brother. Wawa saved the day today, man. So, it was a long drive.
Pretty
and,
cool.
Yeah, man. I can't complain. Life is good. We added 2 additions to the Mantar family, man. And, life is great. It wasn't a whole lot of time this week to do anything else, but drive up and drive back, man. And I tell you what, man, I just could not be a semi-truck driver because I don't know how them guys sit on their asses for such a long time, man. I mean, that really takes a toll on a guy.
Hey, dude, I used to do that. I had my pilot car business, escorting the oversized loads, man. We were on the road. We do 500 miles in a day, no problem. And that's with the big windmill blades and everything like that. So I used to spend a lot of time on the road. And now my job is I'm chauffeuring people around now. And I sit in the car 12, 13 hours a day a lot of the time. It does. It sucks being on your butt the whole time. And it does wonders on your back and everything, which isn't too cool.
So you mentioned airplane blades. So were the airplane blades the wide load, or did you have that wide load sign on the back of your car, brother? I just want to know. The inquiring minds want to know.
Windmill, and there was a wide load. There were wind blades, and there was a wide load sign on my vehicle, not on the back. You know what I mean?
Oh,
but, I mean,
so it wasn't. So you weren't the wide load per se. You were just in front of the wide load.
Well, no, I had a salad that day, and
I mean, okay,
I was light.
So legitimately, then you could have been considered the fucking wide load, then, right?
Oh, that's all possible, buddy. It's possible, you know. But speaking of wide loads, man. Speaking of wide loads, Chubbs, I just want to drop something by here. My experience the last couple of weeks. Basically, last couple of weeks, I've had a couple issues where I had an cyst on my back, and the poison got in my blood, so I had like a poison, and it was causing pain throughout my whole body, and it nestled in my knees. I couldn't walk. It was Monday, and I was struggling, and my boss said, well, you go ahead and take some time off this week. It was leading up to Easter. And so I took time off, and I took that opportunity to start eating salad again in my diet. And over the course of the last 2 weeks, I basically dropped 10 kilos or 22 pounds.
Fuck, 22 pounds, bro.
Diet.
Dude,
I think you found it.
What did you do? Yeah. Did you take a fucking shit, man, and you lost 22 pounds or what?
That's exactly what happened, man. So no,
bro,
eating right.
Eating
I was just eating right, and that was a good thing to do. And I wasn't putting any Dunkin' Donuts or Dunkin' coffee in my body, but it felt pretty good, and it's helped me stay up late tonight in order to do this wonderful podcast with my fat friend Michael Halleck and Monty having our back. That's the most important thing.
Hey, Monty, we forgot that you were here, brother. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I want to introduce to you Michael Monty from Monty and the Pharaoh. Monty, how the hell are you, bro?
Always a pleasure to join you guys. One of my favorite shows. Watch you Tuesday at 9:00. Love the conversation.
I'm telling you what, man. And we are so happy to have you a part of this program tonight, brother. How the hell have you been, man?
I've been good, man. I've been good. The weather's getting better here in New York. And like you used to tell me, the sunny days make life beautiful. You walk out of the house, it's beautiful outside. You feel like taking on the world.
That's right, man. You open up that door, you look outside, there's sunshine, palm trees, the birds are chirping, man. It just doesn't get any better than that, brother. So I'm glad to hear that the weather's nice.
Let me tell you, you guys suck, because I'm over here in where I'm at here in Germany. It's I'm right along the North Netherlands border, the Holland border, and it rains here all the damn time. It's like Seattle, man. It's like Seattle, only worse, you know. It's like Seattle without Starbucks. Thank God for that, is what I'd say. So,
you need a good pair of them fucking goulashes, fucking boots, right? Fucking keep the toes fucking nice and dry. Hey, is that what they're called, goulashes?
I have no idea what you're talking about, man.
Boots,
gummies,
bro, boots.
Gummies.
No,
I know what boots.
Rubber boots, man. What do they call them? Don't they call them goulashes? No.
No, that's the goulash. Yeah, that's it. Goulash is a meal that comes Midwestern goulash, which my mom used to make with the noodles and tomatoes and all that stuff. I'm sure you did it. But then there's the actual real Hungarian goulash. You've had that too with the spatula. Oh my God. Two fat guys talking about food. How's that happen?
Yeah, right. I mean, so Michael Monty, so what's been going on up in Long Island, man? How's the Monty and the Pharaoh? What's the Pharaoh up to these days, buddy?
The Pharaoh's doing well. we've got a big May 5th coming up. We've got a whole marathon on Friday, May 5th. We open up with Marty Jannetty, and then we go into Val Venus. And then right after that, we've got Manny Fernandez, and then we finish up with Tommy Rich and hopefully Tony Atlas. So we've got a whole marathon going. And I'll tell you, I was just talking to Paul. I'm like, man, I wish you didn't live in Europe, because I'd love to have both of you guys come live in studio. Mike, we met in person when I was down in Florida, and I got to tell you what an honor it was to spend time with you. You're quite the guy. And I was just thinking, man, I really wish Paul wasn't in Europe, because I'd love to be able to meet Paul in person. I was actually asking Paul, part of the gigs that go on, Mike, is you have the opportunity, coming off your show, and as it's gaining this popularity, you got a lot of podcasters calling you now, right? I mean,
absolutely, man. Yeah, man. I've been getting messages, like every other day to come on this show and come on that show, and I'm honored, but I'm not gonna come on there and tell my stories for free. I would come on the Monty and the Pharaoh show, of course, but besides that, man, if you want a good show, man, you got to pay the price of the entry fee. You know what I mean?
Well, I got to tell you, it's amazing in the short time I've known both of you, how you both have this background and this experience. I mean, both of you guys got stories that could go on for hours and hours and hours. And then I'm just not shocked, but just your knowledge, both of you, with just sports in general. I mean, you guys got something going on here. And I got to tell you, me and the Pharaoh feel so humbled that both of you are allowing us to host your incredible show. Nothing but respect to both you guys.
And that respect goes both ways, Michael Monty, because, Paul and I, we couldn't have picked a better platform to be on than the Monty and the Pharaoh platform. And I truly believe with the Monty and the Pharaoh and the SOB Sports Network, we are going to take the Monty and the Pharaoh podcast to a whole nother level. And, it's just nothing but time, is in our way, because we're eventually going to get to the top. Because, when Paul and I, when we do something, when we stand shoulder to shoulder and we work hard at something, man, we are dangerous. And so get ready for one hell of a ride, Monty, because buckle up them chin straps and cinch down them fucking seat belts, brother, because SOB Sports is about to take Monty LaFaro for the ride of their life, brother. And we couldn't be more happier.
I'll tell you what, Monty, it was crazy thing about it is we started talking about this. It was like last October. We drew business plans, and we had our we've been looking for somebody to kind of get us in the right direction, because neither Mike or I have any true experience with this podcast stuff other than doing podcasts or doing interviews for wrestling shows or something like that. But even though YouTube's been around for a while, we just were unable to take advantage of it. And I think that the Lord works in mysterious ways, because when Mike came up to me and said he'd talked to Tim and yourself, and that you guys were willing to put us on network and stuff like that, I thought, you know what? There's a reason why this happened at this time and not earlier. It's because with your guys' guidance, it's going to help us move along forward. It's a bit by bit. Like right now, you see my green screen in the back. Things are working one step at a time. And it's kind of like the people that have started watching the show now are going to continue to see us grow in the future. And that growth, they're going to be able to appreciate it. It was like the old days in the territories when the young kids would come in. They'd come in for 2-3 months and stuff, get shipped out. They'd come back 2 years later. They'd be middle card. They'd be familiar with the pool. And then the next time they came back into the territory, they're wrestling on top. And that's kind of the way we want to grow with the fan base, with your fan base, at the same time creating our own fan base. And what's not to love? Two big fat guys just making a laugh at themselves, talking a little bit about sports, talking about this and that, current events, and telling the fans what's going on in our lives.
You're absolutely right, Paul. The thing is it's very easy to get preoccupied with, you know, other things in life. You're not paying attention. You're texting and driving. You're drinking and driving. When Mrs. Dunkin' Donuts and I was in Omaha, we went to this pet store, and we were on the corner of 72nd Dodge in Omaha, and that's the busiest corner in the whole city. And we turned in the parking lot, and we were driving parallel of the 72nd Street, and there was a guy parked in the middle inside lane, had his flashers on, and I'll tell you what, man, this car came barreling up from behind him about 40 miles an hour, man. Bam! Fucking ran right into this guy, man. Buckled his hood. Fucking airbag went off. I said to Mrs. Dunkin' Donuts, I says, I guarantee you that fucking guy was texting on his phone because he hit him solid. And life is too short, man. I mean, that guy survived and didn't look like anybody got hurt to me. They were both out there talking. But you know what? That could have very seriously ended up into a really bad situation. That guy that was texting on his phone that hit that guy, all he was concerned about was what he was doing on his telephone. He wasn't looking up and caring about what he's doing on the street. And he's lucky that he's still alive today, And, I guess the thing is to stay focused on the big picture and don't get distracted by all the small shit, because the small shit is what can eventually take you out of the whole game completely. And, you always need to keep your eye focused on the ball. And if you keep your eye focused on the ball and you keep that goal in mind, then it's going to be a lot easier to obtain whatever goal that you're reaching for that day. When I get up every day, first thing I do when I open up my eyes, I'm like, thank you, God, for another day to try and save the world, to make the world a better place, to put my stamp on this world. And, some days are more exciting than others, but you know what? I still want to live. I still want to enjoy my life, and I want to do whatever makes me happy. And doing this podcast once a week is what makes me happy. And I can't tell you how much fun I have on a weekly basis. I look forward to this, and I can't wait till we start doing this 2 or 3 times a week. And I can't wait for them fans to just ask for more and say, we want more, right back fan and say, we want more. Just listen to them people chant, and we're going to give you more. So, just like, share, and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen, and your dreams will come true too.
Well, let's give them a little bit of update. We were talking earlier today, and we're going to start doing some more just little 5-minute segments and stuff like that, where we're on our own, some kind of rant if something gets our geopolitics, or you're watching the game live and you want to say something after it. You're going to get online, and we're going to we'll start sharing more time with the people here in the next couple of weeks, and we start building up the hours on all our platforms and with Monty and stuff like that. And I'm kind of looking forward to adding more content to the to the Monty site, to our own YouTube going forward. And I just we were talking today, Mike, everything was kind of short-handed because you had your trip with the 2 dogs, and but that's all good. We're starting to get in that flow. It's just going to get a little bit smoother, and we're going to start taking advantage of things going forward. So I can't wait to start producing more stuff for the Star fans. And I'm just glad all those SOBs are out there listening to us and watching our program, or maybe just listening in the car as they're driving down the road, because it's all good stuff. I mean, we can talk about. I mean, this weekend we got a good weekend coming up, and when we tape our next episode, it'll be Saturday, so we can discuss some of the upcoming events on the weekend. And like I said, the Huskers have got their they've got their spring game. We can talk about a couple others. The XFL has been doing extremely well. I've seen the last couple of weeks. About a month ago, it looks like they were on their ass, and now they're putting in. They're filling up stadiums with 70, 75,000, 33,000. Stadiums are filling up, so maybe the XFL might stick around for a little bit, and that's our boy Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the USFL has also started, so their USFL and the XFL are competing against each other, and honestly, I'm not really a big XFL fan. That's really some pretty shoddy football that's being played out there on the field. USFL, they're a little bit more organized and a little bit more of the old school football style of play. In my book, the XFL is kind of a little flashy. They got, these far out rules and everything, and I don't know. I just can't get into watching the XFL myself. But I was able to watch the USFL this weekend on their opening weekend, and there was about 4 quality games on TV. And yeah, man, I was entertained, And for those of you fans out there who've been sending SOB Sports emails and messages about our merchandise, if we got any merchandise coming out, well, I will tell you that Paul and myself have been working really hard on that merchandise, and we're going to have some stuff available for you guys really, really soon here in the next week or two. We're going to have some stuff up and available for you all to purchase and start sporting that SOB Sports Network sportswear, right? That's what it's all about, man, is paying it forward. And, we're going to have something pretty cool, pretty fresh out there, and we hope you all like it. Paul's been working really hard on that, on them T-shirts, everybody. So, it's Mantar has nothing to do with it. It's all PN News.
Yeah, but you know what? I need that inspiration. You are my muse, you big fat bastard, you.
Right, man. Hey, as long as I can light up somebody's day, then I have won. So as long as I can make you smile, fat guy, then that's all I need, man, to get me through the day, brother.
Today you are lighting up my day with that bright orange shirt, because you are as bright as the sun. If you would have been wearing that on that trip to Omaha, if you'd have been wearing that when you ran out of gas, and that was what was that, I-75 north of St. Joe, Missouri, I guess, right?
No,
if you'd have been wearing that out on the road,
Florida.
nobody would have ran into you, bro.
Let me tell you something.
Oh, yeah,
man.
I'm thinking
Dunkin'
29.
Donuts. So this is a brand new shirt, ladies and gentlemen. This is the very first time that Mantar has worn his orange shirt. And Mrs. Dunkin' Donuts asked me today when she seen this on, she said, "Are you applying for a job at Dunkin' Donuts? Are you trying to steal my job?" And I was like, "What the hell are you talking about, man?" And she's like, "That orange shirt." I says, "Don't I look simply outstanding?" She says, "Well, you look like something, but I don't know if it's simply outstanding or what." I was like, "What's your fucking point, lady? Speak your mind. Don't be shy." But I happen to look good in this orange shirt, man. I got a nice pair of navy blue fucking shorts to match my shoes. I like to stay color coordinated, as you know. And, I couldn't be looking more simply outstanding if I even tried today. So fuck off, man. I love my orange shirt, brother.
Hey, man.
Look
at
Michael Monty. Look at Michael Monty's piss yellow fucking shirt. I could be wearing something like that, right?
He's got his white beater shirt on. Leave him alone, man. Mike, anyway, I got an email. I got an email on the SOB Gmail there, and I got an email from the Home Depot, and they said they want their tent back. So if you please return their tent.
That's the fucking best you got, you fat fucker. Eat a salad, man.
Hey, man.
Home Depot. Home Depot.
Hey, man.
Come on.
Don't go away mad.
Really,
Don't go away mad. Just go away, bud.
Really? I'd rather be a fucking donut tester than a house builder, bro. I'm all Dunkin' Donuts. He's called me Double D Dunkin' Donuts tester, man.
I hear the bells now. Do you, Mr. Dunkin' Donuts, take Mrs. Dunkin' Donuts to be happy Reddit donut heads?
I do, brother. I do. I could eat a
And
whole
is
box of
that?
fucking donuts, brother. Let me tell you about
Hey
that.
guys, hey guys, I realize it's just a bunch of bullshit and back and forth this week and stuff like that. But next week we'll have a bigger show. But
Hey
we're sitting
man,
at 35
listen,
minutes,
don't
and
apologize for nothing, man. Are you kidding me?
I'm
This is
not
classic fucking
apologizing.
banter, bro. This is classic banter. You know, the fucking the score is SOB Sports Network 1, Life 0, buddy. We are winning, man. Are you kidding me?
Is this a
I mean,
soccer game? Is this a soccer game? I think at least
it
it'd
could
be a
be whatever the
touchdown.
hell you want it to be,
Dude.
bro. It could be a soccer game. I could bury the fucking three from the top of the key. Whatever you want, man. You know, the NBA playoffs have started, by the way. They've started their 3 months of fucking playoffs, which is absolutely most ridiculous fucking thing I've ever heard of. They start in the second week of April and they go till fucking the middle of end of June. I mean, that's just absolutely fucking stupid. 2.5 fucking months of playoffs. That's overkill in my opinion. That's unnecessary. That's about fucking 6 weeks too long, man. They should be
They're
ashamed of
dragging it
themselves.
out.
They're dragging it out, man, and they should really be ashamed of themselves. I mean, are they that desperate
Yeah,
for every single dollar that they can fucking scrum up? Are they that is the NBA that fucking hard up for money that they have to have a playoff scenario that goes almost 3 months fucking long? Come on, man.
the NBAC, the National Basketball Association of China. I think that's where they're most of their money right now. So they're
Man, I
doing
don't
whatever they
know,
got to
man.
do, man. But
But all I
anyway,
know
man,
is you
it's
were right. You were right when you said 5 weeks ago that it was a little too early to write off the LA Lakers because
yeah.
they made it into the playoffs as a number 8 seed, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe it, but LeBron James got these fucking horses all in a line, and they finally start playing some basketball. And the LA Lakers, ladies and gentlemen, have made it to the playoffs. But I don't think they're going to make it past the first round. So that's going to be a short fucking week for the LA Lakers. That's for sure.
Dude, I saw the guys at Old Country Buffet, man. They were all on senior citizens discount. That whole team, man. They're a bunch of old timers there in LA.
They are. I think they might have the oldest roster of all the playoff teams. To be honest with you, the LA Lakers are very
All time.
old school team, and I'm happy they made it. I mean, they're not going to go very far, in my opinion. I think the Boston Celtics. I think they got this championship locked up and in the bag, ladies and gentlemen. Bet the house. You heard it here on SOB Sports from the mighty Mantar. Bet the fucking farm on the Boston Celtics, ladies and gentlemen, to win the 2023 NBA championship.
May I ask you, how far are the Knicks going to go, guys?
Listen, the Knicks got a pretty damn good team. I watched them play on TV, I believe it was Saturday, and they looked pretty strong, man. They came out with all guns blazing, and they end up pulling the W off, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, I think they won by like 9 or 10 points Saturday. So the Knicks look very impressive. They'll make a good run, but again, they're in the East with the Boston Celtics, and if you bet the farm on the Celtics, you can't be hoping for the Knicks now, can you? Is that your team, Michael Monty, the New York Knicks? Or are you a Brooklyn Nets fan?
No, I'm a Knicks guy, but again, basketball has been left far in my rearview mirror. I was a huge fan back in the early '90s, but the game isn't the same.
Well,
to me
I'm looking at.
anymore,
I just opened up page of the playoffs here. No, it's not. It's definitely not.
Yeah.
What I've got here is I've got game 2 is coming up. What is it, tomorrow at 7:30 in the evening, and this side is picking the Cavaliers 64% to beat the Knicks in game 2. So, but yeah, Knicks do hold the series at 1-0 so far.
Yeah. So, Michael Monty, do you ever go to any New York Knicks games?
all the time, sir. I used to sit in celebrity role for a very long time. So I go to a lot of sporting events. My job requires it.
Oh,
I'm a
your
huge
job
sports guy,
requires it. So,
but I'm
so,
also a very huge sports guy. Don't get me wrong.
so who's your favorite baseball team in the New York area?
I'm a Yankee fan, Knicks, Rangers, and probably the most important team and probably the worst team of all time, the New York Jets.
Oh, they're fucking pitiful, man. I feel
Hard to
so sorry
argue.
for you, man. They
Hard
are
to argue.
fucking one horrible. They are one horrible sports team, man. That has to be the worst sports franchise of all time. The New York Jets. I mean, they really have to be.
They did have Joe Namath at one time.
They did.
They did, but that's
it's hard to argue.
it.
But you know, it's a funny thing. As bad as they are, I think they're like the number 8 or 9 most lucrative sports team in all of sports, though. That's a surprise,
It's
right?
crazy.
I believe it, because
That's
they
crazy.
probably got a pretty strong fan base, right? I mean, they probably got a huge fan base there in New York for sure. I know I enjoyed going and watching a few New York Rangers games. I used to date a girl way back when that lived in New Jersey, and I used to drop her off every morning at work at the Holiday Inn Jetport there in Newark, and I would go into the South Bronx when it was old. They had the old Yankee Stadium, and I would go watch the Yankees if they were in town. I'd watch them play 3 or 4 days a week. I'm a huge Yankee fan, but I also like, the New York Mets. I was a Keith Hernandez fan back in the day, and the Mets, didn't they have Darryl Strawberry too?
They did. That team to me should have won they should have won multiple World Series, and they only walked away with one. So
I agree. Total underachievers. The New York Mets were during that era. Darryl Strawberry was a fucking great talent, man. He could hit that ball a ton, and I think the Mets should have a few more championships underneath their belt than they do. They've really choked the last couple of years coming to the playoffs. The Mets have. The Yankees, on the other hand, they've done fairly well last year. They made the playoffs. The Yankees did, and they're my favorite baseball team of all time. The New York Yankees, I have to say.
may I ask both of you, being that you're both such big sports fan, you coming from Florida and Paul coming from Europe, Florida, it's so beautiful out. It does have its problems with sports, right? Because people don't want to spend their time at an arena to watch a basketball team or be at a stadium to watch a baseball game or even be in a hockey rink to watch a hockey game. Is that hard for being such a big sports guy? And how about you, Paul, in Europe? You're kind of missing out on everything, right?
Is that being in Europe a lot, I have been hooked on, and for years and years, I get invited to watch the Bundesliga soccer, which is German and Austria are Bundesliga, and I went to Hanover '96 and Vita Bremen and Vienna Rapid and stuff like that, and I could never get into soccer whatsoever. And then finally, I was in England, and I ended up going to Liverpool FC. I went to one of their games around 2000 and stuff like that. And the atmosphere, the game, when you got 48,000 people all sing song, You'll Never Walk Alone, you end up getting goose pimples, and then you kind of get hooked in the atmosphere. And I've been a Liverpool supporter ever since. So I get into soccer quite a bit. And it's either soccer or handball over here. They do have some good American-style football. Germany's got a decent league. Austria's got a decent league. And usually either Germany or Austria wins usually the European Championship.
Let me stop you right there, Chubbs. You said handball.
Type league. I mean, I played back in the 90s for a little while, and you get paid that kind of stuff.
So Chubbs, hold on. Time out. Did you mention handball? Was that a yes? No? Maybe? On the handball? Then I stumped him. Look, he's frozen.
It could be either you stumped him or he's frozen.
I stumped him. I could have swore he said handball.
Hold on, let me move him into the main focus. We'll see if Paul's been stumped.
I did say
Ball.
ball. It's called handball. It's called handball, but it's not handballs. It's not hand on ball. It's not hand on balls.
Oh, well,
No,
I
handball
was
is
just looking for clarification.
yeah. Not the handball is basically played in something. It's a little bit than a basketball court, and they have a big net in the back, and they have a goalkeeper, and you can put the ball on the ground once, and then you have to unload it to a teammate or to or shoot at the goal and stuff like that. It's
So
a
it's
little
kind
bit
of like
more aggressive.
dodgeball. Kind of like
No, not at
dodgeball,
all.
kind of sort of.
No, it's kind of like basketball with a smaller ball and a bigger net. So that's basically what it is.
Is that a
It's
fucking
like
German
soccer.
sport?
It's like soccer. No, it's a European sport. It's huge here, dude. I mean, these handball players make big money, dude. So it's like in Germany, it's just a massive, massive thing. They have European championships and everything, dude. It's pretty massive.
Really?
So yeah.
Wow, man. Fucking who'd have thunk it? Fucking handball.
And their basketball
Imagine.
leagues are pretty decent. Their basketball leagues are pretty decent over here. I mean, a lot of American players, after they get finished college, they come over here. If they don't make it to the NBA, they come here
Sure.
and they play. The women's league. They actually, a lot of the women in the WNBA, they actually make more money when they play overseas here in Europe. And that was the issue with Brittany Griner. That's why she was going to Russia, with dope in her bag. But she was going to Russia because she can make more money playing a season in Russia than she actually makes in the WNBA, which is basically bankrolled by the NBA. So so a lot of the women and men end up coming over here to Europe and play in the leagues and make a pretty decent living. A few Oscar players and all sorts have made a living in Europe.
Nice, man. Well, I mean, Europe could be like what that AAA fucking baseball, right? During the off season, go to Europe, hone them skills, make some money, and come back and play for the WNBA or the NBA or whatever the fuck else you're doing. You know what I mean? I mean, the sharper you are. I mean, I think no matter what sport you are, the sharper you are, the better off you are. So if you keep continuing to play instead of taking time off in the off season, it gives you an opportunity to hone them skills, and you just have a chance to make yourself that much better. Yes or no?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. You got practice makes permanent, as they say. So you got to keep moving and keep working on your skills. The league has different rules over here, but in essence, basketball is basically the same sport around the globe. There's even actually a basketball team here in the local area in Oldenburg, and they're very clever name. They are the Oldenburg Baskets. So I guess they were taking an example after the Nets, I guess. But yeah, the Baskets is the local basketball team. They're not too bad. They're okay. I haven't had a chance to see them yet this year, but I'll probably get out and watch one of the games before the season's up.
So Monty, being a big sports guy like you are, what is your favorite sport to watch or to attend?
Favorite sport to attend would be baseball. I enjoy watching baseball.
I agree.
I would say overall, though, my favorite sport is football. Football is the sport.
And why do you say football? I mean, is there something that you like about the action? Do you like the way the guys look wearing them football pants? What's the fucking deal?
I think it has. It's pretty funny. I think it has to do with just the whole Sunday feeling, getting geared up. It's one day a week, so it's more of a special occasion. You won't catch me watching a lot of baseball on TV. As you get older, as you know, you just don't have a ton of time. But I do love going to watching it live. Again, I think it has to do if you're more into the team. If you're betting on sports, then obviously it makes it much better no matter what sport you're watching, right? So I could imagine betting on handball would be just as exciting as betting on football. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm hoping they allow betting on professional wrestling because I think it would enhance pro wrestling. It would bring the older people, back into the sport, even though it's scripted or predetermined. I think if they control it well. What? Oh, sorry.
What? Scripted, predetermined. The fuck are you talking about? Boxing?
You've never wrestled Mike, have you? Dude, that is scrap. That's a scrap every day. There is nothing scripted about working Bruiser Mastino or Mantar, man. When one of those big hoops come down on the back of your head, something like that, you feel it, brother, for weeks.
Let me ask you guys a question. I was thinking about you two last night, right? Because I met
oh
Mike
my God, you pervert.
Well, not that way, but
Jeez,
I met
man.
Mike in person, and you could tell Mike's. If you didn't know he's a wrestler, he does something. And I'm sure, Paul, if I met you, I would say, if you didn't know he was a wrestler, he's a football player or something. But did you, at any points in your career, they were talking about the A&E documentary last night with the Iron Sheik. They were talking about how Vern Gagne wanted to pay the Sheik to break Hogan's leg to stop him from winning the title. Is there any point in your careers you thought about going into business for yourselves? Because obviously you guys are big enough that it'd be hard for anyone to stop you guys.
Yeah. When Razor Ramon took that fucking cheap shot and open-handed me, man, I wanted to just fucking clean his clock. And we were really getting into it in the corner, and Vince was pretty sharp on the fucking mic. He was right in the referee's earpiece. He was like, tell them two fuckers to knock that shit off and save it for the back. They're on live TV. And as soon as that fucking ref said that, I was like, oh, shit, man, we better get back to the fucking business here, right? Because it could have very easily turned fucking south. And because that shit pissed me off. And, I take offense when people talk about asking of me if wrestling is fake, and I was like, listen, motherfucker, I said, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to let you answer your own question. I said, I'm going to stand up. I'm going to let you pick me up, and I'm going to let you slam me as hard as you want to on that fucking floor. And then when I get up, I'm going to slam you on that floor. Oh, no. I was like, oh, no, what, motherfucker? I thought you just said wrestling is fake. If it was fake, you're not going to feel that floor now, are you? Oh, well, maybe predetermined. Well, predetermined and fake are two different fucking things, I mean, I'm not out there perpetrating a fraud. I'm out there imitating a fucking professional fucking athlete, a professional entertainer, and I like to think that I'm pretty damn good at my job. And if the job ever turned fucking south, I would be very well prepared to take on that task as well. So yeah, wrestling with me is can be a little tough sometimes, but you know what? I guess dealing with me in real life can be a little tough sometimes too. So I guess it just comes with the fucking territory. So I guess I'm just always living my gimmick, right? You can't.
Let me ask you this. You've told that story about Scott Hall. If it got a little more realer in the ring and you didn't get back into control, could you have taken him out? And if so, do you think that would have? Go ahead.
I would have took Razor out in a fucking flash, man. I would have fucking hit him so hard he would have not known what was coming. I would have tied him up in a fucking knot and shoot him up and spit him out. Scott Hall just didn't know. The only thing Scott Hall knew was he was the fucking badass Razor Ramon, and he was in the fucking clique. If he didn't have the fucking clique to fucking back him up on every corner that he turned, he wouldn't be a very tough fucking Scott Hall. I don't think Scott Hall was very tough. I think his bark was much stronger than his fucking bite. I think he was mostly all gimmick. He wasn't tough in my opinion at all. And I would have took him out in a fucking flash.
How about you, Paul? Did you ever think about going into business for yourself, especially with your problems that you had in WCW?
As you mean by going to business for myself? our own shows or what?
Well, no, what I mean by that is, like, for example, if Mike would have finally decided just to take Ramon out because he clearly didn't like him and didn't respect him, he could have ended Ramon's career, right? That was on TV, unless they never showed it, right, or something like that. But in essence, he could have ended Scott Hall's career. For you, being the big guy that you are, was there ever a point where you just didn't like someone, or you weren't happy what's going on? You said, you know what, I'm not going to do the job now. I'm going to business for myself.
Well, yeah, basically, it happened a couple times. But the one that's on top of my mind right now is I was doing a show in Austria, and we had there's a kid over here, he's my age, he's our age. He wrestled as Wolf Herman, and this was a show we were working for. Not the regular reporter. He was actually one of the guys that was wrestling on the shows with us. Frank Schumann decided to do a show, and so I was one of the wrestlers. And then me and Ulf had to do old-fashioned chain match, right? And it was like everybody was rusty. It was the first match we've had in a couple months and stuff. And I got in there with Ulf, and he kept screwing up. And at one point, he just started making a comeback on me and stiffing me, and I didn't take it. So I hit him as hard as I could, and I knocked him out. And he's sitting there in the middle, in the corner of the ring, and I was just trying to get the match back on, and I couldn't get him. I couldn't come up. So I ended up taking off the chain, anything like that, because the poles on the other side of the ring. And so I took it off. I went up there, and then I took the money down, and then I went over there and I gave him another one. So I went back to the dressing room. I ended up getting disqualified in the chain match, believe it or not. And then I went back in the dressing room, and he came back, and then he started yelling at me, and I went, "You son of a bitch!" And then I went at him again, man. And I just kept pummling him back in the dressing room. He just kind of waist locked me. And he just tucked his head in so his face wouldn't get pummeled too bad. But he ended up with a big lump on the back of his head and stuff like that. I kept pummeling him. So, I mean, that kind of stuff just happens. And the thing is Ulf was a goofy bastard, but he was harmless. And I don't have any ill feelings toward him. Even after the fight, I didn't have any ill feelings toward him because just life's too short to stay pissed off at somebody for 2
And plus, he can't fucking help it anyway because he's fucking German. So that's half his problem right there.
No, yeah. It happened. And Ulf's not, he's not a small guy. He's like 6'5" and 6'4", 6'5", and 300 pounds. He's a pretty good sized fella and stuff like that. But I mean, I like to keep it as business as possible in the ring. And then and Mike will tell you, I never bitched about anybody stiffing me. If I got a hard way, I just knew it was part of the business. I can take it, dish it out and stuff like that. But you'll never hear me complain about stiffness. But if you keep repeatedly doing something stupid, then I've got there's going to be a receipt for it. So it's just sometimes it's got to be done. I remember also there was opportunity with another German. His name was Eric Schwartz. He's a really good guy. Love him to death. And I helped get him booked with the company at the time. And so I was wrestling with him, and I'm telling him to make his comeback, and he starts hitting me, and he pops me right in the ear. And I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. And I said, again, right? So he hits me in the ear again. And on the third one, I just didn't sell anymore. And I grabbed it, and it was back in the days of the mullet. And I grabbed back of his hair, and I said to him, "Great teeth." He went, huh? I smiled, and I said, "Get your teeth." He gritted his teeth, and I hit him, dude. And he just went flying outside the ring. He had like a big forehead for like a month, right? It was crazy.
Stupid fucker.
I mean, dude, he still hit 3 times in the ear, man. I was like that for a week.
That's kind of shocking coming from you, because I know when you and I used to tag together, you were always the level head one, and I would always be the one that would fucking fly off the handle at any chance fucking given. And so for you to fucking take advantage of somebody is kind of fucking comical just in itself, right? Because that's just not.
I
your
didn't take
character.
advantage of him. I didn't take advantage of him. I told him to grit his teeth. It was a
Right. At least he
comeback.
knew it was coming. Hey,
It was just a receipt. It was a receipt.
Yeah, and receipts come in
but
all
talking
shapes and
about
sizes, bro.
talking about 12, I was just thinking the other day about who was that Mad Dog, where he gave him that number 12, and just crumpled in the middle of the ring, where we came from both sides, you from the back, me from the front, and we smashed him in the middle, and he just crumpled like a sack of potatoes. That was like one of the funniest moments ever.
So, Michael Monty, are you there, buddy? So, I want to tell you something funny. So, when Paul and I used to tag team together, we used to call this spot, we'd call it the number 12. And basically, the guy would be in the fucking middle of the ring fucking selling. And Paul and I would come from each fucking direction and sandwich this motherfucker, right? And we did this to this one guy one time, man. And I mean to tell you what, he just crumbled like a fucking sack of fucking shit, man. He just went from standing up to laying down fucking in the prone position on flat on the fucking mat. We fucking smashed this fucking guy, took all his air out, took everything out of him, man. Just boom, just fucking deflated him.
But it's not something that hurts. It just is like a shock to the system, because really all that air just goes right out of the bottom between two big bodies like we have.
800 fucking pounds of mass just deflating you in a split second, right? Fucking great stuff, bro. Great stuff.
Dude, we used to have some incredible tags, man. I mean, that's for another day, man. Listen, we're at 6 minutes. It's time to call it an episode.
Okay,
man.
Everybody, you know what time it is? It's SOB Sports motto time. And the motto of the day here at SOB Sports is, you only die once, but you live every day. Go out there and live your life, folks. Eat that pie, drink that coffee, do whatever makes you happy, but be happy, man, and have fun doing it. Until next time, everybody, take care. We love you. God bless.
Also, remember to subscribe, like, and share our video content. We'll see you on the next one. Yo, baby. Yo, baby. Yo.